Marines, and then I went on to training, and then I became an astronaut.
Do you have a wife or a family?
Yes, I had two beautiful children, one boy and one girl, and a beautiful wife named Barbara.
Did you go anywhere?
Yes, I went to the moon.
Did you land on it?
Yes.
Who did you go with?
Virgil Glissom.
What is your job in the space shuttle?
I'm the space shuttle commander.
Well, I'm glad that you could take me for lots of your time, and thank you. Today we are very lucky to have the man named George Washington, the president. Okay, George Washington, I'm going to ask you a few questions. First question is, when and where were you born?
I was born on February 22nd, Mount Vernon, 1732.
Was your childhood exciting?
Yes, it was. I got a pony for my birthday, and I got animals, and I had a brother.
I'm sure that was exciting when you got your pony. How old were you when you started the Army?
16.
What were you famous for?
Well, I led an army, and I was the first president to ever lead the country.
Were you married?
Yes, I was. I was married to a beautiful girl named Martha.
How did you die?
Well, I died in a bed in Mount Vernon, 1799.
Well, thank you, George Washington, for coming and using your spare time and letting me ask you. Hi, my name is Leah Overcroft, live from Rogers Elementary. I am glad to interview here today. Cloudy Hall, famous. But Mr. Hall, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Where were you born? I was born in Canada. How many brothers and sisters do you have? I have 10 brothers and sisters. How did you get interested in hockey? Well, my father was a hockey player and he wanted me to be a hockey player. Who wanted you to play pro hockey? My dad. When did you become a pro hockey player? When I was about 16 years old. Did you ever get married? Yes, I got married twice. How come people like to watch you play hockey? Because I was handsome, fast skater, and I was good looking. Do you have any children? Yes, I have 6. Do you have an interesting story that you could tell us about you playing hockey? Yes, when I was about 20 years old, I had a fight with my coach because he wanted me to move to a different position, but I wanted to stay center. So we got into an argument, and then he sent me out for 3 games, and then he made up his mind and he let me play for a little more time. That must have been very disappointing. Besides playing hockey, what else do you like to do? Well, we live on a farm and my favorite thing to do is raise cattle. Did you win any awards for playing? Yes, I think it was 21. Do you still play hockey? Not anymore. I'm just home alone. For the Blackhawks. Would you like your boys to play hockey? Yes, very much. Well, thank you for being with us today. Hello, this is Erica Nardine, live from Rogers Elementary School. Today we are lucky to have Walter Cronkite
to ask a few questions. Walter Cronkite, may I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
When and where were you born?
I was born November 4th, 1916 at St. Joseph, Missouri.
What did you do in your spare time?
When I was 10, I liked to go to my father's workshop and help him work, and I liked to go to my grandfather's store.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. Why did you become a newscaster?
Because I like to tell people how the weather was, and I like to talk to people.
Can you tell us an interesting news story?
Yes, one time I was sitting in one of my chairs in the news studio, and I sprang up from my chair and ran to the microphone and announced that President Kennedy was dead, and I began to cry.
Oh, that sounds very sad. Are you retired?
Yes, I am.
Why aren't you a newscaster anymore?
Because the job got kind of tiring, talking to people a lot.
Oh. Did you like your job?
Yes, I liked it very much.
Well, we were very lucky to interview you, and thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Hi, I am John Leto from Channel 11 News, and tonight we have a special guest, Janet Guthrie, and I want to interview her. And Janet Guthrie, would you mind if I ask you some questions? Okay. When and where were you born?
I was born on March 7th in Iowa City.
What did you do for fun as a child?
Well, I ride my bike a lot.
How do you like racing?
It's fun. Very fun.
Do you plan to keep racing in the future?
Yes.
How did you get in the Indy 500?
Well, I went out on tryouts for the Indy 500, and they said I have to go to school for 3 more years. And I had to go to school for 3 more years. And then I was staying at this motel, and this girl, she's heard about me, and she asked me if I would go to race at her place in stock cars. And then I went into the Indy 500.
Well, thank you for that interview, and goodbye, folks that have been watching. This is Channel 11 News. We will be on at 10 o'clock tonight.
Hi, I'm very honored to interview live Mr. Jesse Jackson. Mr. Jackson, I have a few questions for you. When and where were you born?
I was born on October 8th, 1941, Greenville, South Carolina.
That sounds pretty exciting. Tell me about your childhood.
Well, it was rough. We were poor, but we had lots of love. Love gave me strength. One of my experiences was when I was 6 years old. It's a fear I could never forget. I was in a neighborhood store, and I was going to buy candy, and the storekeeper didn't like blacks, and I wanted his attention so I could buy some. And then I whistled, and he didn't like it either, and so he pointed a gun at me, and I was scared.
That sounds pretty scary. What did you like to do?
Well, I liked to play baseball, football, and basketball when I was in college.
That sounds pretty fun. How did you get famous?
Well, you see, I was a black, and I started finding out about how the blacks got treated, and I felt bad for them, so I just started helping.
That sounds pretty good. What are your plans?
Well, my plans are to try and be president again, because last time I tried to be it, and it wasn't successful.
Do you have a family?
Yes, I have a beautiful wife. Her name is Jackie, and I have 2 children, a girl and a boy.
Thank you for interviewing us. Thank you for having this interview.
Hello, I am Keith Gillis interviewing from Waters Elementary School. I am going to interview Christopher Columbus. Christopher, I'm going to ask you a few questions. When and where were you born?
I was born in Genoa, Italy, 1451.
How was your childhood?
It was very nice, and when I was 6 years old, I dreamed of sailing.
How did you become famous?
There was this one ocean, there was all this seaweed coming up from the bottom, and people thought if you sail on it, that there was a monster under there, and he would pull you under and you wouldn't be able to go any further.
Tell me about when you first saw fruit and tobacco.
It was very interesting when I saw him. When I saw fruits and I saw the Indians rolling this stuff up and putting it in their nose, and I asked what it was, and they told me it was tobacco.
How did you feel when your ship sunk?
I felt very mad because one of the crew members, he was taking care of the rudder, and he was tired, so he left one of the ship's boys to take care of the rudder, and the front of the boat rammed into an island.
Did you have any children?
Yes, I had one daughter.
When you were looking for America, why did you think you were in the Indies?
Because when we were sailing and when we went on land, I thought they were Indians, but they weren't, and we were on the Bahamas.
How many times did you sail back to America?
I sailed back 3 more times.
How did you die?
When I came back from my 3rd trip, all the crew members left, and I was so lonesome I died.
Well, thank you for being with us. Hope you can be with us again.